Welcome to the Flight Club Podcast, a woman's guide to leaning out. We give you a behind-the-scenes look at business launch and growth through the stories of successful female entrepreneurs. Here's your host, Felina Hansen, founder and CEO of Hera Hub.
Hello and welcome. I'm excited for my conversation today with Karina Da Silva. She is a Hera Hub member in Chicago, but she's originally from Venezuela. And she is an award-winning advertising associate creative director, again, based in Chicago. After 10 plus years of working for top Fortune 500 companies and brands and earning 30 awards in creativity and making her dream come true of winning quite a few awards, actually, she decided to write and illustrate a book called Emma's Dream, a bilingual book that encourages kids to follow their dreams. Karina toured her book in Europe, Mexico, and Chicago by reading, singing, and interacting with kids around their passions, proving that story time can be a powerful tool for their self-esteem and development. Welcome to the show today, Karina.
Thank you, Felina. I'm so excited to be here at the Hera Hub in Chicago with a beautiful day.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to share your story and your journey. We teased it there in the intro, but let's go back. Want to talk a bit about, you were born and raised in Venezuela. What brought you to the U.S.?
Well, the situation in Venezuela wasn't great in 2013. And my boyfriend at the time, he came to do a master's in Northwestern. So I decided to also take a leap in my career. I used to be at DDB Caracas, and I came to Chicago to study a portfolio school, which is a school that creatives in advertising do for a year to come up with ideas for fake briefs. And that's how you get hired in the agencies in the US. So that's how I ended up in Chicago.
Awesome. So you've been in Chicago since 2013?
Yes.
Awesome. 10 years. Awesome. So talk a bit about some of your work in the agency world, and then what ultimately led you to transition out of that and leave that career behind?
Advertising was a path that I took because I used to make fun of my friends, and I would come up with songs in high school. So my best friend told me, you should be a copywriter because you can come up with your own songs and your own taglines for brands. So my first option was philosophy, and the second option was copywriting. And the director of my school told me, you should do copywriting because philosophy, you will end up being just a professor. Do you want to be a professor? And I said, no. So I started advertising, and for some reason, the passion for ads became super strong. I love ideas, and creativity is a big skill, a big gift that I have. So I became obsessed with Cannes award-winning ideas, and the path was to win that Cannes. That's something that they instill in you since early on when you start being a copywriter. Mm-hmm. So all that you want to do is change the world with your ideas, and the brands will pay for it. So that's how you start thinking and investigating and researching how to come up with the best idea that can help and that can bring the brand many eyes. Yeah. So I was lucky enough to end up being in Chicago because it's one of the biggest cities for advertising. And even though we all dream about New York, Chicago was a great place to start as a Hispanic copywriter. So Spanish is a good strength to have in Chicago, because agencies want to have creatives in both languages. And the biggest agency was Leo Burnett at the time, Lapis for Hispanic market. So it started there. I worked hard on my portfolio school. I came up with these crazy ideas, and the creative directors really liked the way that I thought. So that's how I got hired as an intern. And I won my first 3 awards as an intern for Purina.
Wow.
It was a cool ad, radio ad with dogs. They were barking. I can't remember exactly what the idea was, but it was a funny idea. So that's how it started. And then I transitioned to other agencies. I worked for Disney parks. It was my first time in Disney.
Wow.
It was working, and it was magical to see the behind the scenes, how Disney actually operates, how the world underneath Disney, how they conserve the magic by having this underworld. I had the chance to be, I don't know if you know that, but they have like an underworld, so the characters don't mix. Like
Okay.
the world of Ariel, the mermaid, she cannot be close to Frozen, Anna. So they go downstairs, and they have this world underneath where you drive your golf cart, and it's insane. It's beautiful to see the vision come to life of Walt Disney. So I worked with the biggest brands, and I learned so much about advertising. And I finally made my dream come true with a crazy idea called the Tequila Cloud. The brief was to attract tourism to German tourism to Mexico. It was a very specific brief. So I said, oh, if it rains so much in Berlin, can we make tequila rain? Can we make it bring tequila? Because compared to Spain, I mean, they could just go to Spain. It's the closest destination for Germans to go and have some sun. The only thing that Mexico can offer that Spain can't is tequila. So I was like, let's make it rain tequila. And we created a sculpture that recreated those 3 cycles of a real cloud. It was insane. We sold something that never has been done before. It was a beautiful execution. If you Google Tequila Cloud, you will see it. Chelsea and Jimmy Kimmel, like so many people talk about Tequila Cloud. It has been my most famous idea so far. And it helped the client. We got so many impressions, almost 1 billion impressions. And that's how I got my Cannes Award. And yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like so accomplished after so many years of working in advertising. Finally, one of these crazy ideas came to life.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. And you worked on like truly every brand: US Army, Nissan, Spectrum, Pop-Tarts, Purina, Allstate, Kellogg's. I mean, like so Capri Sun, Lunchables. I mean, just every consumer brand you can think of. So you woke up one day and said, I'm going to be an author. Like, how did this happen?
It was on my flight back to Chicago when I came from France. I won the silver for outdoor idea for the Tequila Cloud. And I never dreamed about getting married. I was always dreaming about my Cannes, and it felt so great. Felina, I don't know if you can share with us what has been the biggest dream that you have achieved. Maybe it's Hera Hub. I want to know, like, if you felt the same thing that I felt on my chest, that it felt like it opened up and my heart was exploding.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's quite a buildup, right? I'm trying to think of something parallel, because Hera Hub, I'm obviously extremely proud of and I love it, but it wasn't, it's not like there's this big event around it, so to speak. So I'll have to think about that and get back to you.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's not from one second to the other. You won this, yes.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what, this should be instilled in children. I think we should do a better job at recognizing what your dream is and teach kids to follow it because it feels so good. So I decided to write a book. It was called Emma's Dream, and I wrote it in the airplane. That was in 2017. The pandemic happened, and I was going through this existential crisis. Advertising wasn't feeling my, my purpose. I wasn't feeling purposeful anymore. And I decided to finish that book and publish it myself. And that gave me that new sense of purpose. I'm like, I need to finish this. I need to do this. And obviously advertising had helped me a lot to craft my writing, do the illustrations, being able to reach all of these schools and all of these kids all over the world. And it has been the greatest, the service that I'm giving, that I'm providing with my talent. Nothing has felt this good before, because it's hard to admit, but I was being selfish when I was pursuing my can. I was being completely selfish of having this award. It was a sense of accomplishment to myself. But with this idea of Emma's Dream, I feel like I'm helping kids and parents be aware of that dream since early on, so they don't forget when they grow up. So it feels pretty good.
Yeah. So why children? Do you have children yourself, Ana Karina? Like, why did you decide to focus on children?
Well, because it's easier to convince a kid, I guess, to be aware of their dreams. As an adult, we have all of these layers of why nots. And kids are so in their prime time of dreaming, and it's easier to see what their dreams are. So but I'm doing both now. I just did a workshop for adults to go back to their inner child. So it's also powerful, and I'm really enjoying it. So maybe both. I think I'm going to pursue both.
Awesome. And the book is beautiful. It's available on Amazon. You've got 5-star reviews across the board. Describe the storyline of the book briefly, please.
Emma's dream is a little girl that falls asleep and she dreams about the life she always wished. She sings and performs in front of a crowd bigger than the one in Wrigley Field. She lives an amazing dream. She travels, she helps kids find their truth, and then she wakes up and realizes it's all a dream. And the book, it's about how she tries to go back to that dream, how she tries to feel that way again. And then she realizes she can dream that thing again. So she has to do it in real life. So that's what the book is about. It's in English and Spanish, Portuguese and English. So yeah, if you want to teach your kids some Spanish too, it rhymes in both languages and it teaches them the values of discipline and ambition.
I love it. That's awesome. And then talk a bit about the work you're doing in classrooms and the speaking you're doing and all of that great work.
Yeah, so it started as just reading Emma. And then it evolved going to a Montessori school and providing this workshop where we observe and I apply the Socratic method, which is basically asking why, to get to the truth. That's something that Socrates did thousands of years ago. And I'm using it to get to the essence of the kid, because the first thing that they tell you that they want to be is, I want to be a TikToker or YouTuber. I want to be a billionaire. And I'm like, great, amazing. So you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to be filming yourself for 8 hours a day. And they look at me like, you know what? I really like using my hands, and I really like photography, and I really like talking to my mom. And then they start saying what they love, what they actually like. And it's nice to see the answers that I didn't get in therapy when I was an adult, see those answers as kids, because as kids, we know we are so in touch with what we are. So yeah, I that's what the workshop is about. It's to get those deep questions in a fun way. They feel a safe space to share, what they actually like. And then they will get to decide what career. But it's not about the career, it's about what they are, the essence, the passion, what it ignites their hearts. So that's what the workshop is about.
I love it. I love it. And are you still doing any content copywriting, or are you still dabbling in that career as well? Or are you full-time focused on the book and speaking?
Yes, I'm still in advertising. I am it's a hard balance to be able to do Emma and being a creative director in advertising. I'm so happy that my work actually supports it. They love that I have an outlet, a creative outlet, because that allows me to be even more creative at work, to show up with so much energy and being able to help clients to be seen and engaged. So yes, I'm doing both. Hopefully, as I grow as a speaker, as a Emma's Dream chief officer, I think, I don't know, let's see what the transition will be, but I'm still navigating both.
Yeah. And why the name Emma, I guess?
So the name Emma was purely advertising. That's a marketing technique that I applied. I know that all kids, the trendy name is Emma, one of them in English and Spanish. So that's why I chose Emma. Okay. But that little girl might be a reflection of the author, for sure.
Awesome. I love it. So what is on the horizon as you balance your day job and your passion and around the book and teaching and sharing? What are some of the things that you're looking forward to in the next 6 months to a year?
So I got selected at the Brink with your amazing colleague, angel investor. She has been so helpful.
Sylvia Ma, yeah, also from Venezuela.
Yes, and I'm part of the cohort from the San Diego University, where it's like an accelerator where they help you see your business model. Obviously, I'm in the very early stages. I'm doing research right now to see what is the best way to keep that data from the kids. Is it a toy? Is it another book? I'm deciding that now. So I'm in the research stage. So hopefully in the next months, I will find out what the best execution is for this big idea, and then launch Emma's Dream Time Capsule. And I want to keep doing, I really love the connection in person. So I feel I will keep doing conferences and workshops for adults and for kids. I love it. I feel the magic that happens in person. It's unparalleled. It doesn't compare to something I could do online. And I'm diversifying those. How can I scale that presence online? How can I transmit the same magic in online? I think that's the next step. How to escalate Emma.
Yeah. I love it. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you're working with Sylvia and got into the program. As you noted, she is an incredible human being and just such a giver. I mean, she has helped so many women. It's awesome. And the fact that you're both from Venezuela obviously makes it all the more just lovely, the connection. So
I love it. The first day that I met you, Felina, it was almost a year ago, and you instantly mentioned her, and I remember vividly.
Yeah.
And you were such a, like a light at the end of the tunnel, because starting a business by yourself is, wow, it's a big it's a big I can't remember the name in English, but it's a big task.
Yes, it is. It takes a village.
So I'm glad that I stumbled upon you and Hera Hub and Celia.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome. Well, Ana Karina, if our listeners want to reach out to you, get in touch with you, buy the book, all that good stuff, what's the best site, best vehicle, best way to reach out?
Instagram, Ana Karina exists. Ana Karina with one N and K. Exists because I exist by just being myself. And it's all about the essence, about being authentic. And that's the whole motto of Emma's Dream. And you can also reach out through my website, AnaKarinaWrites.com, writes as a writer. And yeah, that's where you can follow the adventure of Emma and where I'm going to be next. So you can come enjoy a workshop, a journey to your inner child, and find some clarity and creativity about what's your next step.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for your time, Ana Karina.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for joining this week's episode of Flight Club, sponsored by Hera Hub. We look forward to sharing more success stories with you soon.